My very first teaching job that I had was working with a child who came from a very, very troubled background. And I was told to go and work with this kid who was thrown out of school, needed to graduate. And when I met the kid, he was about 130 pounds soaking wet. He just wanted somebody to care for him. And I found out that even though he was 17 years old, we were trying to get him to graduate, all he wanted was somebody to care for him. I did something back then with that kid that I probably should. I took him in a car, I took him to McDonald's. We went to McDonald's every morning and we had Egg McMuffins, and we sat in the back corner of the store, and a lot of my friends' grandfathers, they fought in World War II. And they said, what are you doing here every morning with that kid? And I said, I'm just trying to get him to learn, and so we're coming to a safe place, because his home was not a safe place. And they brought him in and they just started telling him stories about World War II. And so for me, that impacted me to see that every person just wants to be valued, they want to be accepted, they want to be loved, they want to be trusted, and they want to be cared for. But that kid, I always remember him, and where he came from. We lived a mile away from each other growing up, but we grew up in two different universes from each other. But every kid deserves that chance.
I've always had a passion for education and wanting to be a teacher, but that's not what keeps me in the classroom. It truly is the ability to get to work with young people and be a part of their journey. In our days, challenging, of course, especially working with teenagers, they can be really challenging. There's nowhere else I would want to be. And just am really thankful for the opportunity to actually get to be a part of something that I think is valuable, because they're the next generation of leaders, and to get to see their successes, to see kids grow who may not have had success in the past, and then they come back to you 2 or 5 or 10 years later and you see who they've become, is a joy.
Why do I teach? I still have hope that teaching as a profession can still create really empathetic, knowledgeable, kind people who then hopefully turn around and make their communities better, make their families, better, and even make our district better, which ultimately is, what I feel drives most of us.
Why do I teach? Because it's an investment. It is an investment in our future. It's an investment in people. And I have been blessed to have phenomenal leaders and teachers in my life to get me to where I am today. And I want to do the same. Teaching is serving. It's a part of serving, and it's what I do. It's for the kids.
I want to see that light in an individual's eyes, that they understand something, that I am making the world a little bit more accessible for them. They are going to feel more comfortable or confident in doing what they want to do in the world. And because they understand it, because they're comfortable, because they're feeling more confident about their own abilities, that they can go out there and impact other people and continue to feel like they're making the life that they want.
The why is just seeing a child be successful. As a middle school science teacher, I can remember one student that I had in my science classroom. He was special education. He very rarely spoke because he had a hard time speaking. He was life skills. So he really didn't understand a lot of things that I was teaching. And this one day, he put the biggest smile on my face. I was showing a video on forces in motion. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, he shouted the word gravity. And that's the first time I heard him speak in my classroom. That there, seeing a child learn at their own pace, in their own way, at their own time, is what makes teaching so special.
I became a teacher because I absolutely love getting to work with kids and seeing the impact that it can have on their future. I think there's no other career that you get to really mold the future of your community, and that's the most powerful thing. When a person thinks back on their childhood, a lot of times what they're gonna think back on is the experience that they had as a high school student or any student. What an amazing opportunity that we get to create that narrative for 2,000 kids every single day. That's why I love what I do.